So I was in a metal band, and one of the people in the metal band introduced me to the Whitest Kids You Know, and that's kind of what made me want to start doing stand-up comedy. And then my band broke up, and I was friends with some of the other local stand-up comics, and I just started hanging out with them, and they were just like, all right, here's your first 5-minute set. Here you go. Take off. So like now that I get to fucking like go on tour with Timmy and do shit, it's insane for me, right? Like, it's amazing. The first time I did it, I was scared out of my fucking mind. Like, I didn't know what to expect, and I was terrified. And I did it, and it went actually pretty well because people knew me from my band, so they showed up to see me do stand-up, and it went well. I actually did terribly, but they laughed anyways, so I actually got off pretty fucking easy. Tom Segura. Tom Segura is my absolute favorite stand-up comic. He is a fucking genius. His jokes are amazing. His stand-up specials are absolutely incredible. I don't think there's anybody on the planet funnier than Tom Segura. That's it. Like, that's it for me. Like, Tom Segura is end-all, be-all of, what do you think the best stand-up comic is? Tom Segura. Right there. Easy. Hands down, number one, 100%. Well, my sketches are easy. That's easy. The fucking Whitest Kids, because that's what got me into doing stand-up and being interested in comedy. As far as my favorite like comedy shows, like on Netflix and stuff, I fucking love Parks and Recreation. Like, that's one of those shows I can just watch on repeat. Like, I've seen the entire series probably 5 or 6 times now, but I still just keep watching it. And I watch it over and over and over again because it's incredible. Like, the jokes are good, the comedy in there is good, everything about that show is fucking perfect. That Dane Cook movie, which I hate Dane Cook's stand-up. I think he's a fucking horrible comedian. But he had that one comedy movie, Employee of the Month, I think it was, which had Dax Shepard. And Dax Shepard had his car hit by a golf ball that Dane Cook hit off the roof. He's like, this is an 87 Honda, how dare you? And my motorcycle is actually an 87 Honda, so I laugh at that all the time. So like whenever anybody like, customer driver's like, this is an 87 Honda, how dare you? So I yelled that at them. So I guess that would be my movie, even though I hate Dane Cook's comedy. So my favorite joke comics I've written is a George Carlin bit. He wrote the bit about social justice warriors and football, and talking about like, oh, when they really have a problem, they get into the shotgun because they really need to get through stuff. And that is one of my absolute favorite bits ever written because it's perfectly written. Everything has a point, and it's a perfectly written joke. You can't explain it any better. It's just a perfectly written joke. I mean, I'm on tour with Timmy now, which is pretty fucking awesome because he's an amazing guy, and we've been talking about doing this for 6 years, and now it's finally happening. So it's pretty great. But if I could tour with any comic ever, I think I would say George Carlin, just because he was such an innovator and he had such a unique view of how comedy's done and how he performed and how he wrote jokes, that I think just being able to be around George Carlin for 10 minutes would be life-changing. And I mean, that's who I would want to, like, if I had an opportunity to go on tour with anybody, it would absolutely be George Carlin. because he was just such. Oh my god, he changed everything. George Carlin changed everything when he did comedy. Number one, Daniel Tosh. Because Daniel Tosh is an asshole. Obviously Jim Ross, because he's the best in the world at it. So that's 2. Number 3, I would say Andy Dick for number 3, because I think he needs some money, and I think he needs a job, so somebody would probably give him money if he was roasting me, and he could probably use that. Number 4 would be J.C. Carias, who is a comic out of LA that I really like. And I think he would just do a good job. What was that, 4? And number 5 would be Chris Cope. Because Chris Cope is one of the people that was there when I started doing comedy with me. And I really respect him, and I would like to hear him say terrible things about me. I don't want to do any of that. Honestly, I love stand-up. Stand-up is my passion, and that's where I want to stay. I have 4 comedy festivals coming up just in the end of this year. I don't know where I see it going, but I'm just going to do me, man. We'll figure it out. Gregg Cee, Greggcee. Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is all Gregg Cee. Don't be offended by some of the things I said, because that's kind of my thing. And I like to make people laugh, but I also like to annoy people too. So walk away from my set with the laughter in your heart, and just don't be super mad at what I said. What's up? I'm Gregg Cee. You need to go check out acutiepie.com and go check out his YouTube channel, and we'll fucking party there.